We're here today to plant some vegetables from the Brassica family, which is basically the family of cabbages. Now I'm here today with Sal.
Howdy.
I'm wanting to give you stuff that you can actually harvest all the time. So both the rabe and kale are great for small spaces because you can just harvest leaves as they go along. I've also got some broccoli, sprouting broccoli, that you can actually harvest the flower and hopefully it will keep growing and give you more over the season.
So what's a critical thing when planting brassica plants?
Couple key things. They like the cooler weather, so you plant them over the winter months. And they're also very heavy feeders. So you want to make sure you've got plenty of fertiliser. So let's get to it. It's very tempting to go, oh, I've got a whole punnet that I want to plant that whole punnet out. But we want to allow enough space for these plants to get to their full potential. So all we'll do, we'll start off here with some kale. We're just going to plant 2 of these, believe it or not. So we'll just try and pick the 2 best. One in this corner. Kale's a great one to grow in the back garden, and the reason being is that you can harvest it over a long period of time. They're actually biannual, and by that I mean that it will last more than 1 season. Next one we're going to plant next to that is some broccoli. Now I've just chosen this because it's a sprouting type, which means that once we harvest the first flower, that it will actually put side growth out, actually will produce more flowers, and hopefully you get a longer harvest.
Or is that 2?
You got 2 in there.
Oh, okay.
So they're going to compete. You want to separate them because they're going to compete against one another.
I'll put this little guy in.
So the last one we'll plant is some what they call rabe. This is quite a bitter tasting brassica, but I like eating it a lot, particularly in pasta dishes. So just fry up the foliage, a bit like spinach. You get quite a good crop out of that. All of these are really heavy feeders. So it pays to often plant beans which feed nitrogen back into the soil. You've ever seen those little white butterflies?
Yeah.
So they'll come in and lay their eggs on the base. They're tiny little orange eggs, so look out for them. They lay on the underside and they turn into a really hungry caterpillar that will, before you know it, will devour pretty much all of your crop. So a couple key things to do for that. You could actually get some really fine mesh, or the other thing, that trick to use is we use little decoys, and this should stop them from actually wanting to lay their eggs because they actually think that another butterfly has laid their eggs already in the space.